Alrighty, back day today, Saturday, getting it in. Thought I was gonna have a wrestling tournament today, but it's tomorrow, so might miss tomorrow's lift. I don't know yet. I might just work out for wrestling because I have high school practice, so I might do like a stance and motion workout or something like that. But today, focused on loading up some weight on the back. Hit some pull downs, pull towards me, rack 7 mentality, lift as much weight as possible. Okay. For you guys, maybe follow my Instagram, and I don't know. I think I've mentioned it once or twice now, and it's basically when I was in college. There's 2 kids around my weight: Thomas L. Jackson Hurst, and then me, and we lifted on rack number 7 in the weight room, and we would tell everyone that we lifted the most volume of weight during the lifts because we had 3 guys at our rack where everyone else only had 2. So even if they were lifting more weight than us, our weight that we were lifting times the sets was more than everybody. So technically we were lifting the most in the room. And it just kind of became a joke. And then we got moved off of rack 7, which was dumb. But so then rack 7 became a mentality rather than an actual thing. I just think it's a funny joke, so I'm going to keep it going. But yeah, focused on moving some mass just like every other day. Same setup, about 10 sets-ish, maybe even less. Back, I'm still kind of figuring out what I like to hit for it. Obviously, lat pull downs. I'm not very good at pull-ups, so I'd like to get better at them. So I think just, progressing through lat pull downs on a machine is a good way to go about that rather than hitting like 1 crappy rep of a pull-up or like 3 crappy reps, or whatever I can hit. But when I'm fresh, I can actually hit a couple pull-ups, maybe like 5-ish or something, but I'm not good at it, so I'd like to get better. And then the pulling like in the front to you, I'm still like not really sure what my favorite one about that is, especially with pulls, because you have obviously a double arm pull and then a single arm pull, right? Single arm pulls, I feel like I can activate my lats more or my middle back muscles, right? And get a better pull and also get to further extension on the pull. But double back or double hand, I feel like overall I can obviously do more weight, obviously because you're pulling with 2 hands, but like even more weight, like, with regardless of it, right? So I feel like I can move more mass, which is the goal. And then also, I feel like I can focus on pinching my shoulder blades correctly. So my big problem with back is with my bad shoulders. My traps overcompensate for everything, and like my muscles kind of around my shoulders, like my upper back muscles compensate because my lats and stuff are weaker than they should be. And then I also have like some, just like, I don't know if the nerves are out of place, right? But like the nerves get pinched during certain movements and stuff. And it like, I was told it kind of like deactivates muscles and stuff like that, or like makes other muscles overactive. So I've been trying to correct that. It's just really hard, especially when like I don't want to do a bunch of reps at low weight, right? But I also don't want to be working the wrong muscles that are already overworking themselves. Like I want to even everything out. And so I want to catch those muscles up that aren't working, but every time I put more weight on, right? Muscles that overcompensate even more. And it's hard for me to get like out of that. So I really need to focus on pinching those shoulder blades together and then moving my shoulders down, right? And getting out of this upper trap area when I'm working. It's just hard though, especially when you start getting fatigued towards the end of the workout and stuff like that. It's really hard to focus on that. And then also when you start going up in weight, it's super hard to focus on it. Like that's why I'm bad at pull-ups, is because the main muscle that pulls everyone else up, I just like it's not very active on my body, and it's undercompensated, right? Because it's getting pushed up into like when I pull from these like my shoulders and my traps and stuff. So we're working on it. It's a work in progress. that's why I'm not too concerned too with like starting to bulk right away, right? I want to figure out how to do some stuff, figure out what I like, figure out the workouts that I like to do before I like go full in on a bulk, and then just also figure out like these little problems with my body, right? Like squats with my hip. How far can I go with my hip? How much can I push my hip on a squat? Is it going to be sore afterwards? Same with back. Figuring out how to get my traps activated and my middle back muscles activated rather than staying up in the top of my back and shoulders, right? For chest, not feeling this front part of my shoulder here, but getting it into the chest, right? And hopefully I'll be able to get better and better. And I'm sure I've already gotten better. And I've only been doing this for like, I think this is getting to our second week here, like the end of our second week. And I've already been getting better and feeling it in the right places and stuff. So I'll just keep working on it. But last week we hit single arm rows coming down to start out with. I think we're just going to start with lat pull downs today while I'm fresh and really focus on pinching those shoulder blades and putting those shoulders down. And then we'll move on to some normal pulls. And then maybe finish with single arm pulls and see how it feels when we're fatigued to just pull with one arm. But we're pulling in the parking lot, so we're going to get this baby rolling. All right, we got our warm-up sets. Going close grip, straight bar pull, or straight pullbacks here. Don't really know what weight we can do, so we're just kind of testing it out still. Might bump up a little bit, but that was pretty good. So set one down. Oh, jeez. Almost took Camille out there. Oh, we're at like 135. That's like perfect weight right now. So get about 6 to 10 and then hit some partials. Kind of burn that up. But one more set here. It's actually feeling really good already. So hit one more set here, move to some pull downs, and then finish off with some type of movement. So let's go. Alright, that'll be it for these. I don't focus on, a certain set number, right? I just focus on how I feel. I do tend to, like that 3 sets each workout a lot better. I don't know if that's just, I'm used to that, but I do tend to go like 3 sets per workout, and then the later workouts 1 to 2. But I don't know if that's because I'm fresh or that's just what I've always done. I'm used to 3 sets, but still figuring it out. So let's move on. All right, we're on pull downs now. I suck at this movement, like I said in the car. I'm not good at pull-ups. I'm not good at this movement. So we're only at 115 right now. Really just focused on what we need to be focused on, getting it in these lats, but we'll try it out. Yeah, well, I don't think you're supposed to lean back on this really, because I'm doing a personal training course right now, and they was talking about when you have back arch in your pulling movements, that means you overcompensate up here, right? And your core is not as strong, and then your lats aren't as strong. But I feel like, I mean, maybe I do overcompensate there. Well, I do, but I feel like I can't get any pull at all into my lats without arching my back a little bit. And I feel like that's where I feel it in my back the most, is when I do arch my back. So,
But your training said that.
but my training said that means you're like you have overcompensating muscles. But I feel like that's the only way I can work my lats. So I don't know. We'll see. I can maybe go heavier on this, but I'm really just trying to feel it where I need to feel it. Yeah, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be going full extension here and then pulling it back in, or holding this pull and hitting reps there. But I do feel it when I focus on the squeeze at the end of the movement. So I'll keep doing that. But that's an improvement. But overall, it is really hard for me to get it down into my lats. But we'll keep working. Oh, man, if you guys never hit partials at the end of sets, I've never done it until now. I would highly recommend it. It's a good way to burn out and get that muscle fatigued even more. And I think it's a great way to kind of activate that pump. So it's been good. We're going to move downstairs. I think 2 more movements. I don't know how many sets on each of them. And then probably just call it a day. All right, we're actually still upstairs. We're going to move on to some single arm bent over row. See how this feels. Still kind of experimenting with stuff, so we'll see. Oh, I might have to go up like 5 pounds for the next set. Oh, actually, I'll stay there. I actually feel it. It's easier to engage my left side than my right side, but I don't know. That could be 2 surgeries versus 1. I don't know. But we'll keep focusing on that right side. Left side's feeling really good right now. But that's also why I don't like single arm movements as much as double. I feel like I can work one side way better than the other. Just like curls, right? I do more curls with my right arm than my left arm. So I'm a little bit iffy on single arm movements. And especially like a movement like this, like one side, I can lean more or pull more up this way than the other side. And I don't know, I just feel like the muscles aren't getting worked the same because my position could be off just a little bit, especially because I'm a newer lifter. So, but we'll figure it out. I should really start on the left side for those. I feel like I can do less reps on the left than I can on the right. So on the right side, I don't feel like I'm going failure. But on the left side, I am. But that'll be it for those. We'll move on downstairs. Hit one more pull down movement. I might do a little superset action. I just got to figure out how it's going to be done. So, all right, we'll see you down there. All right, this is a very weird machine. Not what I expected. Thought the handles were just going to come straight down. They go like out. So, I don't know. We'll see how many we can hit here, and then we're going to superset this with some like assisted pull-ups. Both these machines are pretty weird, so we'll see how this goes. I'm planning on this to be the end of the workout, but if it goes like crap, we'll hit something else. So. Okay, maybe you should have had a little more assistance there, but overall that felt pretty good. Still a little weird on the machines, but I don't know. It's good enough to end it, so yeah. Alright, just like Sam Sulek would do, let's see what pump we're working with. No, I'm kidding, not yet.
After a good back pump, need calories. Bacon on the burger because I'm a man. Wisconsin cheese curds. Fruit punch. No better way to do it.
Alright, overall, good back day. Like I said, I kind of struggle with back a little bit just because of like some stuff going on in my back, right? And my shoulders and certain muscles overcompensating and stuff. But the flip side to that is I just go a little bit lighter. And I'm making sure that I have good technique to kind of build those muscles back up before I worry about going heavy, right? Even though my goal is to move as much mass as possible multiple times, right? It doesn't help me if I'm just working out the muscles that are overcompensating, right? Because those aren't the correct muscles for the movements. So if your form is crap, right, you're probably not going to get much better, right? It's just like in wrestling, like if I drill my single leg wrong 100 times, I didn't get much better at my single leg, right? I still got a crappy single leg. And so I view, freaking seatbelt, man. I view working your muscles the same way. If I do a bunch of sets, but I'm working the wrong muscle during the movement, I didn't get any better. So I just need to, like I said, have the weight be lower, right? Check my ego a little bit at the door and make sure that I'm moving the right way. And then, I mean, it'll only take like a month or so where I can start moving some actual weight, right? It's not like every body part like that is like that right now. So it's not like every single day I'm coming in here and I'm telling myself, oh, let's lift light, so we, move correctly. Well, no, that's not the case at all. It's just the case for really squat and back. That's really the only case. Squat because of my hip, back because of the stuff I got going on, right? So I'm not cheating myself. Chest, I'm still going as heavy as possible. I'm just not that strong. Like that's honestly what it comes down to, is I'm not that strong. So while you guys might think, I don't think a lot of you guys think this, but like some of you, that have massive egos might be like, oh, this guy's going light. Well, no, I'm going as heavy as I can. And that honestly, that's what matters, right? As long as you're doing the best you can do. I mean, it's not like me trying to ego lift weight isn't going to change the fact that I can lift it or not, right? If it's too heavy, it's too heavy. But I have to be honest with myself, right, too. And since I'm not that strong, I still need to push myself. So I can't allow myself to, just go easy because I'm not strong, because then I'm just going to not be strong the whole time. So I'm still doing the best I can to push myself, and maybe it might be in my best interest to start writing weights down that I have done in the past, right? So I can progressive overload for the next time I work it, right? So chest, I did a 45 and a 10 on each side. Next time I'll be hoping to do a 45, a 10, and a 5, right? Or 45 and 2 10s. Because progressive overload, there's two ways to do it. You either add weight or you add reps. I don't really care to add reps. I don't really want to be doing 12 to 15. I'd rather stay in that 6 to 10 rep range, right? So if I got 6 reps, I forget how many reps I got last week or last chest day, but if I got 6 reps at the weight at the 45 and 10, next week, hopefully I can go 45 and 2 10s or 45 and a 10 and a 5, and I can get 6 reps there as well. That's progressive overload. Every single week, you're either doing more reps or more weight at the same reps. So as long as I'm doing that, the weight will work up. And especially when you're starting out, it's probably pretty easy to do progressive overload because your body can more than likely lift that weight. But one, your mind has to allow you to lift it, I think, is part of it. But also your form has to be there to lift it. So I think it's actually a good way to go about doing it because you get better at form at the lighter weights, right? But you're still getting stronger because you are progressive overloading. And then when you get bigger and you start hitting kind of like we're not hitting maxes because we're doing 6 reps. But when you start hitting that max 6 rep weight, it's probably going to be harder. Like if you're benching 315 or 3 whatever, right? It's probably going to be harder to go up 5 pounds every week. You might have to, it maybe push for another rep next week, right? And that's your progressive overload. Instead of doing 6 reps, you hit 7. But if you're progressive overloading in a way of hey, instead of 8 reps, I'm hitting 15, and your goal is size, I don't think that's the way to do it, right? Now, if your goal is conditioning, yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I don't think the way I'm lifting is conducive to being the best wrestler or best athlete possible. I'm more looking to put on size. That's more what I'm concerned about. Where in the past I've mainly been concerned about just becoming a better wrestler, I'm now looking to put on size. So that's kind of what I'm lifting right now. I think I've always thought it would be cool to be jacked up, but I've always been wrestling, right? So I don't really care how I look. I just cared that I had good conditioning, my muscles didn't fatigue during matches, stuff like that. But now that I don't have to really worry about that, outside of wrestling the high schoolers every once in a while and then going into a college room every once in a while, I don't really have to worry about fatigue. And then I also have a really good cardio gas tank anyways all the time. So I never really get out of shape. So I'm not super concerned about that. But hey, let me know down in the comments what you thought about the video. Let me know what your maxes are, stuff like that, and what you think about this lifting style. Appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support, especially on Instagram right now. We're just kicking it off, and we're really hitting it on Instagram. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm happy you guys are watching. I hope you're enjoying the content. So I'll see you guys next time.